Welcome to episode 45 of Book Nerd Paradise, where we get to know an author as they tell us one of their favorite quotes, read from their work, pose a trivia question, and give away a book or two. Hi, I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. If you tuned in last week, you know that I released book 5 of the Andy Smithson Fantasy Series. And in fact, you'll notice that it's been added to the shelf. So, we got the whole series up there. It's available on Amazon, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble, just like the free book 1 and the prequel. So they're still free if you want those two to get into the series. And this one is also available in all those outlets. So please feel free to get a copy. Today, we welcome YA author Krysten Lindsay Hager as our guest. Krysten calls herself a book addict. She's worked as a journalist and humor essayist, and is the author of the Landry's True Colors series and the Star series. True Colors was her debut novel and the first book in the Landry's True Colors series. Best Friends Forever, book 2, is #1 in Amazon's hot new releases in teen and young adult values and virtues fiction. Like me, she's celebrating the release of a new book, Landry and Light, book 3 in the Landry's True Colors series, which came out January 14th, so hot off the presses. Please join me in welcoming Krysten Lindsay Hager.
Hi, thank you for having me on today. I'm really excited to be here.
We're excited that you've joined us. Thank you so much. You'll be reading from your new release, Landry and Like, book 3 in the Landry's True Colors series. So that we can get a feel for the series, would you give us a brief synopsis?
Landry is a 14-year-old. She's in 8th grade, and throughout the series, she grows up. You're going to see her go into high school. Book 1, True Color, starts in the fall, and you see her dealing with this modeling competition that she doesn't really want to enter, but her best friends make her. And she advances in the competition, and they don't. And Monday morning at school, they pretty much unfriend her, and she has to go out of her comfort zone. She's an introvert, and make new friends. And throughout the series, you see her learning what a true friend is, how to be a true friend, dealing with frenemies. She has her first boyfriend, going through all the things with modeling, trying to balance that. And I show the realistic side of modeling. It's not just getting your hair done and looking cute from the camera. It's difficult, the rejection that she deals with all of that, and balancing school, everyday life. And it's a funny series. I always write with humor. Everything I write has humor. And I really enjoy the comments that I get from people, because Landry's always looking for where she belongs and the self-esteem issues that we all deal with. And it really just shows how connected we all are, because we see throughout the series all the characters are kind of feeling insecure. They just don't show it. And that's something that Landry at 14 and I at 14, actually I until maybe 2 years ago, didn't realize that everybody was dealing with their own insecurities. You think everyone has it together but you, that you're the only one who's walking around with, pizza stain on your pants hoping no one looks down, when everybody has those moments and those days. No one has it all together. It's just you put your best foot forward on Facebook and Instagram.
Very good. Wow, this sounds like a very good series. It sounds like diving into a lot of what's going on in a teen's head, huh?
Yes, which a lot of people, I've had book reviewers that question how old I am. Am I getting that? And I'm kind of questioning myself. But I do have very accurate memories. I mean, I remember what I felt, and when I write some of those uncomfortable, awkward, cringeworthy scenes, I am going through it like I am 14 again. And with my other series, with the 15-year-old, I remember that first day of high school, that first day of 9th grade. I mean, I was feeling sick writing some of that. I go back in time,
You've selected a favorite quote. If you would tell us what it is and then share with us why it's a favorite.
I picked a quote from my favorite author, F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm a big fan of his, and I really like his essays and his own personal quotes. So I picked one that says, "That is part of the beauty of all literature. You discover that your longings are universal longings, that you're not lonely and isolated from anyone. You belong." And I really feel that really sums up what I'm doing writing for preteens and teens, and really for people of all ages. I turn to literature particularly when I was a preteen and early teens, because sometimes I'd come home from school and I would have all these feelings and be confused. And do I belong? Are these really my friends? And I would turn to some of my favorite books, Judy Blume. I mean, I grew up in the Babysitter Club era, Sweet Valley High, and I would turn to that, and that would be my escape, and I would feel like I belonged. And that's what I'm trying to do with both my series, is for the girl out there that is feeling the same way and wants to see that there's somebody else feeling like that too, that she's not alone and that she does belong. And I think, especially now on different social media things, there are so many people who are bookworms. I mean, when I grew up, you didn't admit to being a bookworm. You did that. That was your dirty little secret, People come over and I'd have that big stack of YA books every month. They would come out new ones, Sioux Valley, The Fabulous Five, Babysitter's Club, Junior High, all the books. And, those are for a friend, you're hiding it. And now people take pictures of it and they're posting it all over. Like, look at this book. And it's so great to see because you can be yourself.
You're also giving away a book. If you would, tell us what you're giving away.
Well, I'm going to give away, and this is for international and domestic, I'm going to give away 2 eBooks of the first book in the Landry's True Color series, True Colors. And I'm also going to give away for readers in the U.S. a signed copy of my other YA book, which is called Next Door to a Star. It's book 1 in the Star series. And the second book will be out March 22nd. It's called Competing with a Star. So I will sign this and send it off to you.
Great. So just to recap here, so you're giving away 2 of the ebooks.
Yes.
And that's to either domestic or international.
Correct.
And then you're giving away 1 of the other paperbacks that's just domestic.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we've got 3 chances to win. So all you need to do is in the comments below, right there, leave just a brief comment about the show. And then also leave a Twitter handle or Facebook, some way to get a hold of you, because nobody seems to pay attention to their YouTube inbox. Now, the one thing I was going to add is I'm also going to add for the winners, I'm going to add a signed bookmark for my book that just released as well. So you can be expecting that as well.
Have you ever heard the expression awesome possum? Are you looking for great reads for your kids or grandkids? Award-winning author M.K. Mathias has recently published the first 3 books in the Awesome Possum series for early readers. And the expression awesome possum is apropos because these books have an engaging rhyming tale with full-color illustrations that are sure to keep kids riveted and begging for more. Awesome Possum by M.K. Mathias. Get 1 or all of them at Amazon today.
Now, Krysten, you'll be reading from your new release, Landry and Like, which is, as I said, book 3 in the Landry's True Color series. Would you briefly set up the portion you're going to read from and then share with us?
Landry and Like just released, and here's the cover. And in this particular section, Landry is about to start dealing with high school. And a lot of the girls that she's friends with have become friends with some of the 9th graders. And there's a lot of worries because Landry's best friend, Ashanti, has joined the cheer squad. So she's going to have an in next year with all these cheerleaders. And the cheer squad is known to be very, very tight. And they really just all hang out together. And Landry, through the whole book, is nervous she's going to lose her best friend. Well, one of the things the girls are doing is going to this preteen teen dance club. And Landry is an introvert. She would rather be at home watching movies, reading a book. The idea of going to a dark club with loud music and a lot of people is absolutely terrifying, but all her friends are doing it, so she's going to give it a try. So the scene that I'm going to read sets where her friends are saying, like they're the ones with the really protective parents are being allowed to go because this is a very safe teen club. And so Landry thought that there was no chance. And you're going to find out that her mother is completely on board and she can go and she has no excuse now. So that's what I'm going to be reading from Landry and Like. In what universe would my mother ever agree to allow me to go to a teen dance club with my boyfriend? I don't want to go, but at the same time it hits me, all my friends are going, and I'd felt weird that Ashanti was going to be there once again without me. You have to ask, Landry, Devin said. It would be so great if we could all hang out together. I managed a nervous, sure, but I didn't know how to say. The idea of being in a dark room with loud music and strangers didn't exactly fill me with happiness. Whenever I saw places like that on TV or in movies, there were always girls judging one another on their outfits, their looks, how they danced, everything. It sounded so intimidating. I can't see my mom going along with it, I said. Well, ask her, and if she says no, then maybe my mom can talk to her, Devin said. I agreed because I didn't want there to be one more thing distancing me from Ashanti and the other girls. As soon as we got off the phone, I thought about the best way to ask my mom. When it hit me, she'd never agree to it. I was completely safe. My mom was having her tea in the living room with a new book she picked up at the bookstore. She always hated it when I approached her with anything when she was relaxing with a nice cup of tea and reading. So it was the perfect time to ask. I was guaranteed to get shot down. Hey, Mom. So India, Devin, and Ashanti are going to the teen dance club that's downtown with some high school girls, and they wanted to know if I could go too. Oh, I heard about that place, Mom said, looking up over her book. Well, I guess, sure. Well, that's too bad. I was so looking forward to... Wait, what? What? You can go. Do I need to drive one way, Mom asked. What on earth? You know the one I mean, right? The place right downtown. Uh-huh. I saw in the news. It's run by a nice Christian couple who wanted a very safe place for teens to get together, she said. Ugh. Just my luck. Okay, maybe those people made sure there wasn't alcohol or drugs there. But what about judgmental jerks? Could they protect me from that? This whole thing sounded like a good way to get gossiped about. Kendall's probably going to ask her brother and Vladdy to go too, I said. Aha. She would never let me go. She thought there was a chance to hang out with my boyfriend. Mission accomplished. Oh, that's great. I would feel a lot better about it knowing that Vladdy was there with you. That way no strange boys will be asking for your phone number. Abort mission. This plane is going down. So you're not worried about anything happening? I asked. Like what? Okay, I'll tell the girls I can go. I called my friend Peyton to tell her the news. Oh man, she said. I would have thought you were dead in the water when you mentioned Vladdy going, but it sealed the deal? I will never understand parents. I wanted to have a Skylar Halston video game sleepover, and now we're doing a teen dance club? I wanted to say, no, I'd rather stay in and play computer games and bake cupcakes, but I don't want to look lame. I know, that's what I want to do too, I said. Well, do you want to spend the night afterwards, she asked. Spending the night would be fun, and it would ensure that Peyton wouldn't ditch me at the club for some guy if she knew she was going to have to deal with me later on. That's the end of that.
Last week, as part of my book release episode, I challenged you to test your GIQ, your Griffin Intelligence Quotient, with 8 Griffin-related trivia questions. I'll use just the first question now, which is this. A griffin is the amalgam of what 2 animals? That was my question. So the answer is a lion and an eagle. They're considered the chief of land and air creatures. So to test your GIQ, go to my blog at blog.lrwlee.com and find the January 4th post. And then you'll see how brilliant you are in terms of your Griffin Intelligence Quotient. How's that? Okay. Krysten, you have a trivia question for us. What is it?
Well, mine is based on Harry Potter, and I'm from Michigan. I grew up between Flint and Detroit. So I grew up with the big 3 car manufacturers. So my question is a car question. And my question is, what type of car did Ron, Fred, and George use to save Harry? It was the car that Mr. Weasley made fly. So give me the name of the car that they drove.
Ooh, this sounds great. I actually, as a Harry Potter fan, yes, you call me a Potterhead, I actually do know the answer, but I guarantee there are several of you out there watching that don't know. So make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel so next week you can find out what the answer is when Krysten reveals it. Krysten, are there any final thoughts you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Well, I just got the blurb for my next book coming out in March, the sequel to Next Door to the Star. This is book 1 in the Star series, and it's called Competing with the Star. And that's another YA series, a little bit older but clean. In that series, Hadley Daniels, she's 15. She moves to a beach town, and she moves in next door to a former teen TV star. And she's trying to figure out how to join this clique and make new friends, moving. And, you know, it would be very intimidating to live next door to a teen star. And in book 2, she finds out that her new boyfriend used to have a huge crush and be completely in love with Simone Hendrickson, the teen TV star. So she thinks she's got the perfect relationship, and things are about to not go so well.
Thank you for those words. That's awesome. So everybody stay tuned for that one as well. So I hope you've enjoyed getting to know Krysten Lindsay Hager just a little bit. I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. And as always, Blast of the Dragon's Fury Book 1 and Power of the Air's Passion, the prequel, are available for free download as ebooks on Amazon, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble.
Click the button to subscribe to the Book Nerd Paradise YouTube channel so you don't miss upcoming authors, giveaways, and answers to trivia questions.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next Monday.